We just wanted to know, with greater understanding, where you were coming from with it and some of your concerns and your reasonings for it.
Is that the
About CAIR.
yes. I've got a report. I had a stack of information big on that, and information about ties, according to the FBI, of that organization. And so that's someone sent me that, one of my constituents, and I introduced that on their behalf.
Right. Where exactly, I understand that the FBI has cut off non-investigative ties with CAIR, but CAIR is very pivotal and very all-encompassing when it comes to promoting liberties and civil rights, and especially for American community. And it just concerns us that if a resolution like this gets passed and further down the road, if a bill related to this resolution gets passed, how will that impact the American Muslim community here in Mississippi?
I think that all the bill says is the same way the FBI cut off relations with CAIR. Our law enforcement, it's a resolution that our law enforcement agencies will cut off relations with CAIR. So that's all the resolution does. And, it's in the Department of the Rules Committee at this point, Chairman White, and I would encourage you to go visit with him.
I just want to say real quick before you walk away, as an ally, the reason it concerns me, and I'm a transplant to Mississippi, I'm first generation in the States, what would concern me is that it sets a tone of anti-Muslim in Mississippi, that there should be no contact with police outreach activities, law enforcement outreach.
Well, certainly it's not at all tied to a particular, religion. It's not at all tied to a particular set of people. It's tied to this organization, CAIR, that the FBI has cut off.
But it creates an us versus them narrative. That's exactly what
I disagree. I mean, if the FBI cut off relations, why shouldn't our state law enforcement agencies have relations? I mean, that's the question. So,
May I echo your concern? They're an organization that we want to really represent our interests as well.
are you with CAIR?
No, but I identify as a Muslim in America, and I want to.
Are any of y'all
No.
We're not directly.
We know of CAIR, and the reason CAIR is important is because that's how their mosque was able to be established, because they received a lot of threats in Madison for building a mosque, and so CAIR and the ACLU helped them build their home of worship.
If they have connections, if they're legitimate reasons for the FBI or overseas connections with them, we are just as interested as well in understanding why. And we've done a lot of work looking into that and speaking with representatives.
I would be more than happy to give you the stack of information that I was provided by the FBI about this.
Were you provided directly by the FBI by this, or the
This is information that the FBI has assembled on this organization. I'll be more than, I know the chairman has a copy. I've got a copy of
See, from my understanding, it was an agent or two who refused to speak to CAIR officials, but it wasn't a direct organizational move. I don't believe that it was a ceasing in that regard.
Maybe we should have more information on it.
I think we should have more information before a resolution is introduced. I 100% agree with you in that regard. I think that
I read the information when I was given, and I promise you, if it was that thing, it was 2 inches thick of information.
I 100% believe that.
Why don't we get in contact with you and give us this big stack of papers and we'll look over it? We're going to continue this conversation.
That's a great idea.
But how do we contact you specifically?
My contact is Gipson at house.ms.gov.
So where do we get this information? Do we need to email you directly, or is there somebody that...
I will get it. I left a copy of it for the chairman of rules, and I'm going to check with him. I actually have a hard copy of it. I'll get to the other copy.
Can I make
Scan it on in.
Can I ask a proposal? We in the large degree, and everyone who's here represents the Muslim community of Jackson as a whole, a community that's contributed a lot, and we care a lot about Jackson. We want to have this conversation with you. If you can give us an opportunity to look over this information and then respond to you before anything goes forward in the legislation, could we have something of that nature done?
It's not my decision whether I'm going to introduce the resolution. The chairman of that committee will decide whether
But you have a decision. You can make a decision about whether or not to introduce that at this time yet, without knowing. You yourself agree that there needs to be more information. That there's a lack of information.
I didn't
about
agree.
this.
I saw plenty of information. Believe me.
Have you looked through that information?
Very
You do
concerned.
know, though, that CAIR continues to work with the FBI in reporting agent provocateurs in the community, and twice in, I think, the year 2006 and 2010, they identified people in California and Virginia who ended up being potential people of concern, and the FBI worked with CAIR, and on multiple fronts. So even though there are no particular non-investigative ties that the FBI holds with CAIR, they do continue to work with each other, and they cooperate, and they both succeed and produce substantial work from that. And so,
I'll have to take your word for that. I don't have, all I have is information I was given.
we can provide you information.
We can provide you
Thank
information.
you.
I feel like you
You
should
have
do
a
your
great
part
day.
looking more information on your own, though. It's not
So
a,
how do you guys feel about that conversation?
he was dismissive.
He was completely
Exactly.
He didn't want
He
to
only
hear
wanted
anything
the
about
side. He only wanted the information that supports his own claim. And when we offered counter information,
He didn't
he didn't
listen.
want to hear about it. So what does that
There
say? He's
is-
only trying to push his own
This
agenda.
is legit information that I have from legal documentation.
My question is, you see, when I questioned him on the source of his information, he flip-flopped, and that's what concerns me. Is like, what is the validity of this information? And you said that someone sent this to you. That's why you got interested. Well, how did they send it to you? Why was it interesting to you? Why is this the only information you're looking at? He refused to answer anything about that.
Because if he truly did need more information, he would have
looked it up
tried
himself.
to like continue and talk to us about that.
And the second we introduced counter information, he walked away.
Yeah.
So do you think you guys or there will be continuing conversation, dialogue?
We would love to, but
I think
don't
it would
he
have to
wants
be largely
And
one-sided.
I approached you know, I made a point to say we would love to have this rapport with you.
Which is why we had
an ongoing discussion.
we invited him for dialogue, and as soon as you provide the facts, he starts walking
He starts
away.
walking away.
So he doesn't want the
And he
dialogue.
has